Tina stared at her cracked phone screen, scrolling through pictures of girls living the life she dreamed of, vacations in Dubai, designer bags, candlelit dinners in Banana Island. She sighed and looked around her one-room apartment in Herjegul. The small fan barely worked, and the paint on the wall was peeling. But on Instagram, she was Tina the rich babe, flawless makeup, luxury outfits, and the illusion of wealth. Tina worked as a cashier in a supermarket. Every day, she saved a little to rent clothes and pay photographers in Lekki to stage fake luxury photos. She took pictures in front of hotels she couldn't afford to enter. Sometimes she even borrowed her friend's iPhone to post better quality pictures. "I just need one big break," she told herself. One day, she posted a photo wearing a rented red gown, pretending she was at a yacht party. She captioned it, "Celebrating life at the top. Millionaire mindset." She didn't expect what happened next. The photo blew up. Over 10,000 likes. Hundreds of comments. But one DM stood out. "Hi Tina, I saw your picture. You seem interesting. I'm Daniel. Let's talk." Tina clicked on the profile. Her heart raced. Daniel was a verified billionaire tech founder. Young, handsome, and based in Lagos. Private jets. Boardrooms. CNN interviews. And now he was messaging her. Tina panicked. She wanted to tell him the truth, but this was the moment she had been waiting for. She replied, "Hi Daniel. Thanks. I'd love to talk." From that day, everything began to change. But with every message, every lie she added to keep up the image, the truth got harder to escape. Tina and Daniel began chatting every day. "What's your favorite place to relax in Lagos?" he asked. She quickly Googled luxury lounges in Lagos and replied, "Oh, I usually go to Sky High Lounge in Victoria Island. It's quiet, exclusive." Truth was, she'd never been there. She couldn't even afford water on their menu. Daniel laughed in the voice note he sent. "I go there too. Maybe we've crossed paths." Every time Tina read his messages, she felt both excitement and fear. He wasn't like the usual flashy guys who only cared about looks. Daniel asked about her goals, her dreams, what made her happy. And she started telling the truth, at least, some of it. "I love to design clothes," she told him. "You should chase that. You're talented," he replied warmly. They had long calls at night. She would sit on her bed, in her small room with the lights off, pretending she was in a penthouse. Daniel made her laugh, made her feel seen, made her believe in herself again. For the first time, she wasn't pretending for clout. She genuinely liked him. One night, he said, "Tina, you're different. I talk to a lot of people, but with you, it's real." Her heart beat fast. "Same here." He paused. "I'd love to take you out. Just a quiet dinner. You choose the place." Panic hit Tina hard. She couldn't afford a taxi to Lekki, let alone dinner at a fancy place. She thought of excuses. "Oh, I'm traveling this week. Maybe next." Daniel agreed. "Sure. Let me know when you're back." Tina looked at herself in the mirror. No makeup. No filters. Just the real girl behind the lies. She whispered, "What if he finds out who I really am?" Because deep down, she knew, this couldn't last forever. A week later, Daniel messaged her again. "Back in Lagos." Tina stared at the message for a long time. She had run out of excuses. If she kept dodging, he might lose interest. She replied, "Yes. Let's meet." Daniel was thrilled. "Perfect. Dinner this Saturday at 7. I'll send a car." Tina froze. A car? To where? She quickly typed, "I'll meet you there. Just tell me the restaurant." He sent the location, Ocean Drive, Victoria Island. She'd only seen that place on blogs. She immediately started planning. She borrowed a friend's heels and rented a red jumpsuit. She spent her last money on makeup and transport. Her heart raced as she entered the taxi. She kept checking her phone for signs to cancel, but deep down, she wanted to see him. She arrived at the restaurant, pretending like she belonged there. She walked in, scanning the room, then saw him. Daniel stood up from his seat and smiled. He was even more handsome in person, calm, confident, warm. "Tina," he said, pulling out her chair, "you're even more beautiful than your pictures." She smiled, shaking inside. "Thank you." The dinner was smooth. They talked, laughed, No cameras. No show. Just two people connecting. At one point, he reached across the table and held her hand gently. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've known you longer than a few weeks. Tina looked down, ashamed. She had lied so much. But somehow, this moment felt honest. When dinner ended, Daniel said softly, "Let me take you home." Tina panicked again. "Oh no, I'm going to my friend's place. I'll be fine." He nodded politely. "All right. Call me when you're in." She smiled and left quickly, her heart pounding. As she got into a keek nap-up down the road, reality hit her again. This wasn't her world. And she was falling for someone she had built this world to attract. For the next few weeks, Tina and Daniel grew closer. They spoke daily, shared their dreams, and even started planning a beach getaway. Tina was falling, not for his money, but for the man who listened, who cared, who believed in her. But her guilt grew stronger. Daniel once sent her a picture of his childhood home in Syria and said, "I wasn't always rich, you know. I built everything from scratch." Tina wanted to confess everything right then. But she was scared. Would he still want me? She wondered. She decided to start telling the truth, slowly. One evening, Daniel texted, "Hey, I sent someone to surprise you with a gift. Hope you're home." Her heart dropped. Gift? Someone? Home? Tina lived in a run-down compound in Ajigunle. Her neighbors were outside, cooking with firewood and chatting loudly. Her room didn't even have a ceiling fan. This was not the mansion she portrayed online. She replied quickly, "Oh no, I stepped out. I'll be back soon." But it was too late. 30 minutes later, Daniel called her. His voice was quiet. "Tina, are you okay?" "Yes," she lied, her voice shaky. "I think I went to the wrong address," he said gently. "The place didn't look like what I expected." She went silent. Then he asked, "Tina, is there something you want to tell me?" Her hands trembled. She stared at the peeling paint on her wall. "Yes," she whispered. "Everything I showed you online, the cars, the lifestyle, it was all fake. I work as a cashier. I live in a single room. I just wanted to be seen. To matter." Daniel was quiet for a long time. She wiped her tears and added, "If you want to stop talking to me, I understand." The call ended with just his words, "We'll talk tomorrow." That night, Tina didn't sleep. She had told the truth. Now, she had to face what came next. Tina expected silence. Maybe even insults. But the next morning, her phone rang. It was Daniel. She hesitated, then picked up. His voice was calm. "Thanks for telling me the truth." "I'm sorry," Tina whispered. "I lied to you, to everyone. I just wanted to be someone." He sighed. "I understand. But you already were someone, even before the fake life. I liked you because of how you spoke, how you think, how you dream." Tears filled her eyes. Daniel continued, "You know what hurts? You didn't think I could love the real you." Tina said nothing. She was scared to ask what this meant for them. Then he asked, "Can I see the real you? No filters. No costumes. Just Tina." Later that day, he came to her street. No security. No noise. Just him. Tina met him in front of her compound in a simple dress and her natural hair. He smiled when he saw her. "You're beautiful," he said softly. She looked away. "You're not angry." He chuckled. "Tina, I've been lied to by people with real money and big names. You lied out of fear, not greed. And you had the courage to confess." They walked down the street and sat on a bench near a small shop. Tina spoke freely now, about her struggles, her dreams, her shame. Daniel listened without judgment. "You don't have to fake anything again," he said. "I want to help you build your real life." "But why me?" she asked. "Because I see something in you that money can't buy." That day wasn't about luxury. It was about truth. And it was the first time Tina felt truly seen, without lies, without filters. But not everyone around Daniel was happy. Not everyone wanted the broke girl from Ajigunle in his world. And the real battle was about to begin. News spread fast. Blogs picked up rumors. Billionaire Daniel dating broke girl from Ajigunle. Some praised him. Others mocked Tina. Commenters dragged her on social media. Old photos resurfaced. Fraud babe, they called her. Gold digger. Tina almost deleted her accounts, but Daniel stood by her. He publicly posted, "Her past doesn't define her. Her courage does. Let love be love." But not everyone was happy. Daniel's business partner, Collins, confronted him. "She's going to ruin your image. You built a brand on trust and power. Now people think you're chasing poor girls who lie for clout." Daniel replied firmly, "Then they never knew the real me either." Collins scoffed, "She'll drag you down." Daniel looked him in the eye. "No. She lifts me up." Still, the pressure got worse. His company's stock dropped. Clients started asking questions. Daniel became distant, not cold, but quiet. One evening, Tina asked, "Do you regret meeting me?" He looked at her for a long time, then said, "No. But I need time. Everything is changing too fast." That night, Tina did something hard. She sent him a voice note. "Daniel, I love you. But I don't want to be the reason you lose everything. Maybe it's time I walk away, even if it hurts." She cried as she pressed send. For weeks, they didn't talk. Tina returned to work, focused on designing clothes again. She started a small page, this time, showing her real journey. No filters. Just truth. The page grew. People related to her honesty. Slowly, she built her own name, not as Tina the rich babe, but Tina the designer with grit. One morning, at her small pop-up shop, someone walked in. It was Daniel. He smiled. "I'm not here for a show. I'm here for the real thing." They hugged. No words needed. Moral lesson. Pretending might get attention, but truth builds real love. In a world full of filters and fake lives, being honest, with others and yourself, is the boldest thing you can do. Kindly comment the moral lessons you learnt in this story. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more amazing stories.